fleet. Join her now. Sound drums and trumpets, and cry God for Harry, England and St. George!
Hello and welcome to UK Theme Parks. My name's Adam and today we are at the historic dockyard in Portsmouth. That's right, we are here for a Mary Rose immersive experience, something that's brand new for 2021. It opened on the 26th of July and we've been invited early to come and check it out. The Mary Rose 1545 is what it's called. That's when the boat sank in July 1545. I'm not sure what to expect, and that's the best part, and that's why you should stick around. I've done no research on this, I've not watched any videos, I've not done anything. No idea what it's about, but I'm quite eager to find out, to be honest with you. This is local to us, very, very local to us, walking distance, in fact, down at the dockyard. I live in Portsmouth. So why not? Why not come down? I haven't been inside the dockyard for many, many years. I haven't been on any of the boats, probably for 10 years plus. I have been in the Mary Rose Museum last time I was here. I think it's changed dramatically. And yeah, I don't know what to expect. I don't know what to expect. I'm really, really excited. 26th of July is when it opens. Let's see what it's all about. Here is the HMS Victory. It's undergone quite a lot of work in the past sort of 20 years. Not sure how much of it's original, but it is beautiful to look at. It really is beautiful to look at. And of course, one of our only active warships over there. It's actually quite big down here, to be honest. I don't remember it being this big. I think it's forgotten because obviously this is museum base and these are old boats, and you've got the Warrior as you enter, the Victory and the Mary Rose. I think people sort of forget that this is still an active naval base. Very much so. To get on here is quite difficult. You can obviously pay to come in as a visitor, but if you're coming at this time, out of hours time, it's very much ID, and you know, you have to have certain ID to get in if there's no events on. It's really, really strict to get in here. But yeah, much bigger than I thought actually. But what a beautiful boat that is. There's apparently a very iconic statue, this one. As we come around the other side of Victory, here is the Mary Rose Museum. I can see Henry VIII is out. To be fair, the actor that plays him is really good, and I imagine on a day like this, hot.
Yeah, is that alright?
Yeah, no,
Sorry.
Hello.
You're back again.
Yeah, feel free to take pictures.
Welcome everybody. Join me as we lift the veil of history and the mists of antiquity raised. We are transported back 475 years to July the 19th, 1545. We are going to experience the tragic loss of the Mary Rose. As it heels over to the starboard side, we will not get wet, fear not. Remember, when their story ended, our story began.
When their world ended, our story began. In 1545, a disaster struck the Mary Rose, and she sank in the Solent, only a few miles from where you're now standing. She lay undiscovered for hundreds of years, entombed in the seabed, until her wreck was finally located by a group of divers in 1971. After years of careful planning, on a cold, wet day in October 1982, the hull of the Mary Rose was raised from the seabed that had protected the ship and its contents for over 437 years. This transition from obscurity to fame was witnessed by a global television audience of over 60 million people. Perhaps you were one of them. I certainly was. Today, the Mary Rose and her thousands of artifacts provide a unique insight into life on board a Tudor warship. But do you know how her story began?
It all began in 1509, when I, Henry VIII, of that name, became King of England. Come closer, everyone. Come hither. That's it. Come beside me. I'm not as scary as I look. Come closer. I have much to tell. I was near 18 when I came to the throne. Yes, that's me up there. Hard to believe, isn't it? A great king should seek glory in just war and rightful conquest. Now, by ancestral right, I was also king of France. But I could not enforce this unless I waged war on the French, and to do this, I needed ships to carry my armies across the narrow seas. When my father died, I inherited just 5 king's ships. Now, I have near 60. The first ship I built was the Mary Rose, and I paid for her out of my own purse within 10 months of my accession to the throne. She was named for the Blessed Virgin Mary and our Tudor Rose, and she proudly bears this emblem high atop her forecastle. I love to hear how she sailed. My first Lord Admiral reported, "Sir, she is the noblest ship of sail at this hour, as fast and maneuverable as a vessel a quarter of her size." I viewed her myself many times. Indeed, I went aboard her with the Holy Roman Emperor when we inspected our ships before my second war with France in 1522. My army by sea, my Navy Royale, has been one of my chief delights. I have built great dockyards and gun foundries to arm our ships and fortify our coasts. And my greatest ships have bellies bursting with guns set at ports with lids which can close. Many guns bear my titles and the marks of our Tudor Rose and the fleur-de-lis. And when fired, these roar and breathe smoke, causing fear and dread among my enemies. My wars at sea have seen no great battles. In fact, our recapture of Boulogne a year ago was fought on land, not at sea. But now my spies inform me that more than 200 French ships are close to England. Their fearsome war galleys harassing my ships and raiding our coast. Against this, I have but 80 vessels anchored here at Portsmouth Haven. Anticipating fierce battle, I have gathered my captains for a council of war on my flagship and placed men atop the mast to keep watch. My gentleman Carew has served me well, and I am making him Vice Admiral in my Mary Rose.
My lords,
What do you...
the enemy is sighted by the whites.
Captains, to your ships. Tarry not. I will hasten to my army by the South Castle. Godspeed, and with God's grace the winds will favor us. The battle is upon us. The Mary Rose sails for the French fleet. Join her now. Sound drums and trumpets, and cry God for Harry, England and St. George! All sail!
let's have a quick look at the timeline on the wall from sinking to sort of, you know, discovery, debris, it being raised up, and it ended up in the museum. Now then, I didn't actually know that the, you know, they said to me, did I watch it come up? It was in 1982. I was 1 year old. I hadn't watched it come up. However, it is definitely something I've heard of and something I've seen since. I didn't realise it was watched by 60 million people. 60 million people watched it. Can you imagine getting a TV audience like that now for anything? It just wouldn't happen. That was an amazing pre-show. For those that aren't aware of the Mary Rose or the history, I mean, that just takes you through everything. A lovely guidance. The person that plays Henry VIII here is incredible. He really is into the role. Every time I've met him, seen him, he is into the role. And it's just incredible, really, really is. You know, the projection screens really help tell the story. And of course, once you're on the boat, you can kind of see, you know, just how quickly it went down, to be honest with you, and what happened. It's a beautiful entrance to a museum, it really, really is. Beforehand, you used to just have a photo area there before coming into this area, and you know, and kind of seeing the boat. Last time I come here, the boat was being sprayed, but as you can see, we'll hopefully be getting a really good view of it now. I love a bit of history. Living in Portsmouth and a dockyard is, you know, all about history, all about being historic, and I can't wait. That was brilliant. That was truly, truly brilliant. And, you know, massive thank you for them to inviting me today. On top of that as well, such nice people, really engaged with you. Love it. I love it at events like that. How the bloody hell does he play that though? So here it is. Here is the Mary Rose. Now it is dark in here. It is dark in here. So let me explain first. So as we're walking down, effectively the Mary Rose is on this side, the whole boat is on this side. I'm going to add some night vision shots into this part because I appreciate it is dark. And then on this side, this bit would then, with the cannons and everything, would be spun round onto there, so it kind of fitted as an all-in-one. Now, as you can see here, what they've done is, I don't know if you can see in the picture, but as I said, we will have some stills on here for you. Where the ship bows, the curve grows as well, bows on the floor, so it feels like you're walking down. It feels like you're walking down on the boat. So all these bits you see this side, and we'll get a closer look, these are a mirror image of what would be on that side of the boat. There we go, we're a bit lit up a bit now. But this is the Mary Rose. Now last time I come here, it was all sort of under darkness, it was being sprayed, treated. It was like that for a couple of years. Literally little portholes that you could see through. This is incredible to think that this is the boat. This is the boat that sank in 1545, 19th of July, I think you said, which is, you know, now. And then of course all of this. It's just something else. It's just breathtaking to look at. It really is breathtaking to think this is the real boat. So yeah, these cannons and things, this is the level they'd be on. As we walk around, you'll see a little bit more, and this would then mirror over to this side. But wow. Just amazing, amazing to think. So obviously the museum has lots of artifacts, has the boat as well. We've got an interactive, immersive experience if you come in. Honestly, something else, really is something else. I appreciate that we do more theme parks and adventures, but there are some great adventures to be had over here, there really are. And this is one of them. Now it does actually go from light to dark, and that's because you might be able to see here, you do get some video screens as well, what would be happening on the ship and where it would be happening. So as you can see, from sort of making bits there to fun and games to the bar. As we scroll down then, they're sort of in the welding, they're in sort of the, I don't know what they're doing down there. They're making stuff down there. But what a lovely touch. What a lovely touch that is. Yeah, just different screens come up, shows you what's going on the boat. What an experience, what an experience. Now then, from the sort of walkway, we come into the actual artifacts area. Well, there is a host of items. A real host. From sort of guns to medicines. It's just breathtaking. Again, what they've managed to get up and salvage. So worked out, I actually worked out, I haven't been here for 8 years. 2013 is when I worked out. I thought it was 2016. But they actually stopped spraying it in 2013 for it to then reopen in 2016 in this new building. So yeah, 8 years since I've been here. I just, yeah. Now we've been told that when we go upstairs, we're in for a shock, in for a little bit of a surprise after walking through the glass there and seeing through the glass. I can't wait. I genuinely can't wait. There we go. Some surgery there. Look. Everyone is just so nice, so nice. So they have quite a lot of volunteers here rather than like staff members. So the ones we've seen dressing up, a lovely chap there just telling us about the artifacts and kind of, you know, the event and how it all happened and his history with the Mary Rose, what he remembers from being you know, from being little. I just, honestly, it's lovely. It really is. Everyone is so nice. They really are. They really are. And there's so much to look at. There's so much to take in. These are all, you know, authentic artifacts. These aren't things that have been replicated. These are all things that have been pulled up from the seabed. We definitely want to make our way upstairs though. So we have real life history here. Real bones, real skulls. And they've been identified as different people depending really on what injuries and what items they were found with. And of course they found an archer. Found a Mary Rose archer. And this is it. This isn't a replica. This isn't a bit of plastic. This is what they actually recovered from the Mary Rose. Obviously there are pieces missing, given how long it was down there. Now this is the impression of what they would look like. So again, as we walk down here, we've got the Mary Rose on the left, you've got artifacts and things on the right. And of course again, you've got the bow down the middle. I don't know if you can make it out, maybe make it out if I go a bit lower. But the floor bow's like the boat would. It's just little details like that that you would miss, perhaps if you weren't told, you would miss it. And of course, you know, what they've managed to pull up with it. Now then, we did ask, these little monitors here, hoping you can see that one, they are constantly monitoring what's going on behind these screens. Constantly monitoring humidity, temperature, absolutely everything you can imagine. And there are loads of them. And I mean loads of them. Loads, all over the boat and everything. Now, as he just said to me, I'm hoping you can see me, it might be a bit dark. As he just said to me, what he just explained to me, you know, everywhere else is shut through COVID. With a museum, you could literally think you can just lock the door, off you go. But you can't here because it's continuously monitored. Got to be continuously looked at. They could disappear for a year, come back, and the whole thing could have collapsed if something's broken. So it needed constant attention and people continuously looking at it. You've got to think the effort that goes into this. It's as, you know, as effortful as it would be to go feed the animals. Yet it doesn't feel like it, and most people will think it was just locked up and they went. That's just not what happened. It's just not what happened. Ah, just can't wait, can't wait, can't wait. We've got the elevator coming up. A glass elevator, oh. Let's get there, let's get there. Now the good thing is, I didn't actually film the one upstairs, which was about medicines and things. It felt a little gruesome, this one probably won't be any different, to be honest. But you can, they've kind of done real recreations in character of how things would have been done on the boat to, you know, fix certain parts of your body. Some more brutal than others, to be honest with you, but it's great they've gone to the effort to do this, rather than here's a picture, this is how it happened, you know, this is like, well, this is what we'd have done, this is how we would have gone about it. We can change everything and see how it all is. The glass lift, I've been waiting forward. I've been looking forward to this. Waiting so much, I don't know what's going on. And it is a complete overlook of the Mary Rose. And then from the top floor, there is more here, yet more here. Cannons, more artifacts, more touch screens. Tools, it's amazing just how much they've got out and what they've done with it. Now then, when you get to the top floor, you take the glass lift, which we've just done, and then you come through the doors. It's a double door to come through because this, as we said, is being constantly monitored. So where it's constantly monitored, you can tell the mass change in temperature and humidity when you walk in here. Bear in mind how hot it is outside, it feels colder than air conditioning in here. And this is why. We are glassless, absolutely glassless. There is the Mary Rose. I mean, there it is. Rudder, boat, light's gonna go down now and we're gonna get a little projection. Don't think you're gonna be able to see it. Oh, you can see it a little bit. It's definitely cooler up here. The temperature is cooler, much cooler. And of course, you've got to think we're in a tin building as well, so there's always a chance it's probably absolutely boiling, or should be absolutely boiling in here. Glass floor to walk on. Now then, I'm not going to lie, because it's a press event, as we've gone to, I don't know if you can see, there's sides this side, and then there's sides that side. So as you get to each side on each level, you're offered a drink. I won't lie to you, feeling a little bit giddy. Right, we are now lit back up after the animation screens have gone. And I have to say, I'm just soaking this in. I'm just soaking this in. You know, we know there is obviously Victory outside and Warrior outside. Victory, there isn't a lot original left on Victory. But you know, this is a worldwide known thing. The Mary Rose, Henry VIII ship. You know, it's just not anything you're going to see anywhere else. And there it is, right there. There's no glass between us, there's nothing between us, it is right there. It's just amazing how they've pulled this out of the sea. They've preserved it for, I think, a few years with sprays and things, and you know, now it's temperature controlled, it's not rotten, you know, it's not going to rot away. This is the boat. This is all original. There's nothing here. Obviously the scaffolding before someone says it, but there is nothing here that isn't original. These are the decks, these are what people would have walked up and down. You know, 500 people I think on this boat. Really important people in British history. There it is. Now over the other side as well, you can see the ropes. You can see the anchor. I'd say that's a big old beast, but it's probably not actually in the scheme of things. It's probably quite small for a boat that size. As we said, here is the upstairs gallery. And honestly, you can really feel the temperature and humidity change, even from these rooms either side. So these all down here, it's all air conditioned. You know, it's a lovely to visit. Bear in mind, it's a tin roof, and you know, when the sun beams on it, you would expect it to be hot in there. In here is really, really cold, really cold. But what a sight. So the bridge balcony is open, and that is the Prince of Wales ship. A lovely view of the warship. Not gonna lie, it's a bit warm out here. Might go back in. Tad on the toasty side. But before we do, there's the Victory. So October 1982 is when the Mary Rose was brought up. 60 million people watched this.
The first time we have seen this in 437 years.
There we go, the Mary Rose experience, the new immersive additions, if you will, to what was already there. I have to say, spectacular, genuinely spectacular. The fact now that you walk in and you get a story, and you get a really good, a well-told story, really sets you up for actually going in and seeing the ship. It's the first time I've seen the ship since it's been sprayed. I was stopped spraying, sorry. There's not little portholes to sort of see it through. You can just see through little tiny holes. You can now see the full ship in view, or what they have of the ship in view. Breathtaking, genuinely breathtaking. A massive thank you for them for inviting us tonight. Not only that, everyone is so nice. It's so nice. Everyone is talking to you, everyone is giving you information, everyone is so invested in the Mary Rose experience. It's not something I've ever witnessed before. You know, we go to press events, I don't want to single out anyone, but we go to press events and it just feels like you're a number. Where here, it's felt like, you know, they want you to come in and they want you to have the best experience. Some of the volunteers we've spoken to are so knowledgeable, and they really care about what they do, and they really care about the Mary Rose, and you know, they've gone out of their way to basically do something they love doing. It's just honestly breathtaking. You know, I know we do a lot of theme parks on here, obviously, and we do attractions, and I know not everyone watches us for the attractions, but there's one place I recommend you visiting this year. It's the Mary Rose. 100% over any theme park or anything else. If you like any kind of history, come down to the Mary Rose. I can't say it any other way. You know, you will not be disappointed. Once here, you can get immersed in the story. You can find out all about the ship. You can see some really rare artifacts, as well as the actual boat itself. The people are lovely, the staff are lovely. You won't be disappointed. I promise you now, you will not be disappointed. But my name's Adam, this has been UK Theme Parks. I really hope you've enjoyed it. We have done a couple of adventure vlogs recently. You know, we get around and that's what we want to do. We're going to places we enjoy, and this was probably the best visit of the year so far. There we go. That isn't enough to tell you. I don't know what is. Thank you for joining us. Remember to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.